Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to another energy reading for the week of March 3rd. We are in March, and it's funny because March is typically known in Canada anyway. It's very volatile, it can be either way, beautiful spring day, or it could be a deep winter day. And they're predicting a lot of snow. So we'll see what happens. I don't think the snow is coming, to be honest. And I made plans to go grocery shopping later, and it's going to happen. Just plain and simple, right? So it's fun. It's fun to play with the weather and see what happens and just, see where it takes you. So today we're reading energies for... I feel like there's a certain theme coming in this week pretty strong. So I wanted to share that theme with you. But before I get into that, I do want to welcome all the new members in the group. It's great to have you guys. I see the group is growing. We have entries for our draw, which is exciting. So the draw, if you guys don't know, I've posted many posts about it this week, but yeah, it's to get a 30-minute session, potentially more, depending on how many times I draw your name, to have a 30-minute one-on-one coaching session. So that's a perfect opportunity for you to really dive deep into you, to look in to see what it is that has been blocking you, that's been keeping you stuck, keeping these patterns going, because that's the thing, is that sometimes we can't recognize our own patterns, and we need somebody out from the outside world that's totally neutral, totally objective to our lives, don't know what's going on, to see, okay, there is a pattern here. We can stop this. We can shift it and change it and then get into a new pattern. Patterns that will make you grow instead of hinder your growth, right? So that's very important. So again, that draw is going to be happening March 9th. So if you're interested, all you have to do is just invite friends to the group, and you get every friend that comes in is an entry for you. So that's exciting. So we're getting twofold. We're going to be growing and you're going to be growing. So it's pretty good, right? So yeah, so the bracelet of the week, this week, I felt like this is one of my favorites. So I wanted to kind of show you guys this bracelet here. This is our pink zebra jasper. Zebra jasper, I don't know, for me personally, I've been very drawn to these stones. And the zebra jasper, it actually motivates you into movement. It actually motivates you out of apathy, and it gets you into action. So maybe that's why I like this stone so much, right? We got a lot of different little charms here. I have this little Buddha one here, which is good. And this right here is all rose quartz. Rose quartz, of course, the unconditional stone for love. And another thing about zebra jasper, it does help you avoid overthinking. So if you're like me, an empath that just takes on everything and then forgets to drain it out, you start to overthink, right? And that can be a hindrance on your growth as well, right? So you're going to be encouraged to, let's see, what does it say? It says, encourages us to just enjoy living the experience. So if that's something that you want more in your life, go to my website, myawakeningjourney.com. All the bracelets are there. There's tons of different stones. All the description for the stones are actually in the description of like when you click on it, right? So you'll learn a lot about stones and different crystals and things like that. Just going through that, really. So that would be our stone of the week. I will be posting that later on if you guys want to look at that. So yeah, so like I was saying, as we were coming in, I feel there's a strong presence of something powerful that's sitting here waiting for us to pick it up, waiting for us to call it in, waiting for us to say, hey, I want more of that in my life. And that energy is sovereignty. So when I talk about sovereignty, of course, there is that energy with kings and queens and being sovereign and, but it's more like stepping into that part of you that's wiser beyond your years, right? That part of you that knows, that is very calm, very collected, very gracious, and very, very, feeling very fortunate, very humbled, right? That's the energy I feel this week is really calling in, right? So I feel like that's something we do need to activate in our auras to call in. And that's the thing too, is like when you want these things in your life and you don't ask for them, you just say, oh, that's a good idea. But you don't say, I want that for me, right? Then the universe is like, okay, well, I guess that they like it, but they don't want it, right? So you got to be specific when you're communicating with the universe, when you're manifesting things, when you want more things in your life. You got to be very specific. You got to have that clear, concise message to the universe. It's not like, it's funny, I heard it described this way before, and I'll tell you guys this. It's like when you're sending an email to somebody, you don't just send you don't send the letters of the alphabet and expect them to put together the message, right? That's a lot of the times, which is a perfect example of what we tend to do a lot with the universe. We tend to just send them the alphabet and expect them to know what we need, but it doesn't work that way, right? So, basically what we're looking at doing is saying, okay, so there's different energies that's available to you on this plane of existence, right? And yeah, Christine, thank you so much for helping it grow. Yeah. And, so it's just, you basically just have to go out and grab it. That's the thing, is like when you're doing manifestation, when you're asking for things in the universe, it's great to want things, but you have to say it out loud. You have to announce it, right? And then the universe can conspire with you to work in the alternate realms. Words are escaping me right now, but I can't even think of the words, but it's alternate realms, and we're going to go with that word because that's what's quantum. That's what it is. See, the quantum realm is where everything gets entangled. That's where everything is connected no matter what, right? So all we have to do is find those lines that connect us to what we want and bring it in. And I feel the power of sovereignty is going to help that manifest for your life. So in order to be sovereign, you need to be a great servant, meaning you have to be very humble. You can't be going after things and, just grabbing at it. And a lot of the times we kind of do, right? And you need to put it out there to the universe and help other people. That's the whole thing, is that the more we help other people, the more we're here to serve other people, to be of service. And that's when we get it back, right? Twofold, tenfold, whatever fold you want to use, right? So it's very important. So I have my activations oracle deck here, and I'm going to ask the energies that be, what is it that's going to help us activate that sovereign energy this week to move into that place of like, I got this. I got this. No matter what it is that you're dealing with, I got this. Maybe that's just it. Just knowing that you have it, knowing that you're that powerful that you don't give yourself credit for. Right. This is funny. Solar plexus. That is powerful. That is the sovereign place. That's your solar plexus, is that place of willpower, that powerhouse, that driving force that gives you. And that's what popped up for it, which is kind of ironic. So in order to activate that sovereign part of you, good morning, Kim, thanks for coming on. It says the frequency of the solar plexus, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self. It's our personal power and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution to this whole world is. Which is interesting. Weren't we just talking about how we have to give to be service, to activate that part of us? So there's that big back and forth, that yin and yang, that basically like that figure 8 energy, where it kind of folds back, you go up and down and come back and forth. And you're basically just weaving the energies that be into you, right? And that's kind of fun, right? So that would be the path that I feel that is, for this group specifically, is a good path to take this week, is to step into that part of you, that all-knowing part, activate your solar plexus. And that's as simple as just, of course, we do this every week. So I'm going to do this with you now, but let's activate our solar plexus. So if that's something you want to do, go right ahead. Sit down in a comfortable position, have your feet flat on the floor. First, we're going to ground into the energies, right? So we're going to go do a body scan. You can open or close your eyes, doesn't matter. But basically, you're just going to go and scan your body. Anything that doesn't belong there, bring it down with the scan. Bring it down into each chakra step by step. Ground it out through your stomach and then pull it through your legs, through your knees, into your feet, through the ground. We're going to grow those roots through the floor, into the ground, through the bedrock, all the way down to the core of the earth. So whatever that core looks like. To me, it's like a red ruby, right? So we want to ground into the energy first in order to activate anything. You're always, always grounding. So go ahead and pull those roots down, allow those roots to grow. Feel yourself more connected to where you are. So in your seat, into the earth, you can see the whole entire earthscape, and that you are completely one with right now. You are completely grounded in your body, calling back all aspects of yourself if you need to. Good. So now I want you to hold your hands over your solar plexus. So this is just at the bottom of your rib cage, okay? Hold your hands over the bottom of your rib cage. Open up that solar plexus. This is your willpower. This is your personal power. This is your sovereignty. This is that place where you got it. I got it. I'm completely safe and secure. No matter what you're faced with this week, this is going to be taking you through and helping you through it. So go ahead. Just picture inside you this yellow spooling, and it can be like a pool or a portal, or you can call it whatever you want. You can have it as a light bulb. Yellow is the color here, so you want to tune into that energy. Feel what it feels like first. Just be curious about it. With your hands over your solar plexus, be curious about what it feels like. We want to open it front and back so it's completely open and flowing freely. Okay, so envision the back and the front opening through you. This energy now is going to start growing bigger and bigger. So we're going to pull out the energy of the solar plexus. We're going to pull it out to completely engulf us. We're going to pull it over our heads. We're going to pull it under our feet. It's going to totally encompass you. Be in that place. Be in that sovereignty. Be in that place of like, I get this. I know this. I know I can do it. I'm great. I'm amazing. I got this. I got this. I got this. Right? That could be your mantras. I got this. Good. Whew. I can feel mine very activated. I'm starting to feel a little bit warm here. I don't know about you. That's a great exercise to do. So whenever I'm done with energy work, you got to flick it. You got to flick away any energies that don't belong to you, that you picked up. I feel like everywhere. Just flick it. That's what I'm doing. I'm flicking it away from you. It goes back to the ethers, and it's going to be recycled. So it's not like it's a bad thing. It's not like you're flicking it away to somebody else. It's just simply away from you. All right. Whew. I don't know about you, but I do feel better. All right. How is those energy exercises for you guys? How are you enjoying these? I know these are simple little techniques, but I feel like they're very powerful. And I quite honestly don't do them as much as I should. But I guess that kind of goes with everything, right? We don't drink as much water as we should. We don't eat the right foods as we should, right? So there's a lot of things that we do that we should that, don't happen as much. But the important thing is that you come back around to it and you incorporate it into your life at some point in time. I feel that is very important. All right. So I feel that we're getting pulled into the weekly readings for each of you. So if you are on live, you are able to get a reading today. I'm going to be on for probably about another half hour. So we get a couple readings in there. So if you want a reading today, go ahead and just say so in the comments. I know last week I did miss Janine. So Janine, are you on right now? Just kind of give me a, hey, how you doing? Oh, Janine, yes, you are here. Okay, good. You are definitely be first, because I'm so sorry I missed you last week. But of course, you know what the energies, I didn't miss anything. It was more or less, it wasn't time for you to know anything. That's kind of it. Okay. So Janine, is there something specific that you want to know about? Is there something that you want to dig in deeper to? Let me know in the comments. I'm just going to start pulling some cards here. It'll take a minute anyway. So if there's something that you're working on, working through, something that you're stuck on, you're like, what am I going to do about this, right? Let's get some answers. Let's see what the energies are going to be for you this week. Okay, I feel like this is a good deck for you. I'm going to bring up my Rebecca Campbell. Work your light, sister. Work your light. Janine says general, but I have a hard time knowing my purpose. Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret about knowing your purpose. A man called Daryl Anka, I learned this from him, and he's a channeler. Whether you believe in channeling or not, I'm channeling right now. You channel all the time. He taught it like this, and this is how I teach it as well, because honestly, it's the simplest terms, but it is very, very powerful, very impactful. Your purpose is nothing more than chasing your passions, going after your passions. And it's not just going after your passions, it's whatever excites you, right? It's whatever you're like kind of geek out about, but you do it with no expectation of how it should turn out. No conditions on it, with no conditions, zero conditions. Just go after it as far as you can take it, and without expecting anything from it, just go after it and see. That is the purpose in life. So for me, my purpose, I feel, is to serve people in this method, right? So that's what I'm doing. I sit in front of this camera every week. I do these readings. And everybody's purpose is different, but it's all tied in with your passions. Your passions are the key, the very key into knowing what you're meant to do in life. And here's the thing. It's not always a job, lifelong job that you're going to be doing. It's not going to last forever. Right? That's something that it's not going to take you through your entire life. It's going to be little tidbits here and there, right? So go follow your passions as far as you can take it with zero expectation of how it should turn out. That's what you're going to find out. Okay. So I'm going to ask the cards. If you want to know, I feel you said general, but you want to know more about your purpose. So let's ask. I'm going to ask for your higher self to step in now and take over the cards. I'm going to ask for your higher self to give you a clear, concise message on your purpose and what you're here to do. Let's see. Okay. First card popped out. Let's get two more. The cards get a little crazy. Sorry, I'm dropping them. Okay. Let's do this. Got two cards, one more. Here. Okay, wow, this is interesting, Janine. So the first card that came out was play, enjoyment. How much are you enjoying life right now, in this moment, in this part of your life where you're at? Because your higher self is like, you could play a lot more. You could get dirty, you know, like you can get silly and be okay with that, right? How serious have you been lately? Because life is not being about serious. It's about play. It's about enjoyment, activating that enjoyment in your life, right? That sovereign part of you that enjoys life. It says have fun, celebrate, don't be serious. Okay? That's the first card. Let's see. It's three cards together. They kind of tell a story. So let's find out what the rest of the story is. The next one is don't dim your light to fit in. Don't do it. Be who you are. You don't have to stand back so that others can shine, right? You don't have to make other people feel better by saying, oh, I'm not really good at that, when you can actually excel at it, right? So it says, how are you dimming your light to fit in? That is a serious question. But again, the last card that came out for you, Janine, was to dance with life, which is interesting because the first one was to play. And now they're saying, okay, don't dim your light to fit in. Like, don't step back and be the shadow. You got to be in the forefront. You have to step forward in life, right? Don't be afraid. I feel like there's a little bit timidness with you. I don't know. That's just kind of what I get. Dancing with life. So do something to change your energy. So if you've been in that serious place and you just kind of like, not stuck there, but you're like, I don't know how to shake things up. Physically move your body. Physically shake your hands, shake your arms, dance. Serious. Like, it's so funny that you're like, yeah, I feel silly doing it. But it shifts the energy. It shifts where you are. You're not so serious. You're not taking things so heavy, right? So once you start incorporating more play, you start dancing, figuratively, literally, right? Don't dim your light to fit in. So, you know, you're meant to stand out. You are meant to be your own person. You are meant to be different than everyone else around you. So that is a very big theme with you. Let me know how that sits and let me know what it feels. But I feel like it's basically just kind of like it's a very happy and uplifting energy, right? So that's a good thing. And this week is that energy upliftment, right? Get into that solar plexus, go into your inner power, into that powerhouse, and ask for your higher self. Say, higher self, help me activate this, because my conscious mind doesn't really know how to do it right now. And we can always ask for help. We can ask for help from our guides. We can ask help from our angels, whatever it is that you have around you. We have a whole team around us, right? So we just need to tune into that and start a line of communication, just like you talk to people in real life. So, and you know, my daughter asks me all the time, she's like, Mommy, who are you talking to? And I'm like, myself sometimes. I don't even realize I'm doing it because I have such a high connection with my higher self, and I ask for these things in my life and repeat things over and over because I'm activating different energies in my body to help my environment, right? Because your environment doesn't change until you do inside. And it takes a little bit for things to kind of catch up, right? So when you're in that place and you're stuck, you're feeling like you're kind of stagnant, shake it up. Okay? That is for you. I hope that resonates. I hope that makes sense for where you're at. All right, I'm going to go in and see who is next. Janine, Christine, are you still here? We can pull some cards for you. Christine, let me know if there's something that you want to specifically ask your higher self. If you have something. Janine says, yes, thank you very much. Makes a lot of sense. Good, good. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, so Christine says, if you have time, my guides have been so quiet during recovery. You know what I find when guides get quiet? It's because you're supposed to start listening to your inner self. Like, guides are literally there just to guide you. But if they're quiet, it's kind of like test time. Right? It's kind of like, shh, be quiet during the test. See if she gets it. So what are you supposed to get? I mean, recovery. That very well could be, you just need to rest. If you're during recovery, the word itself denotes that you need to just take time for you. Take time in this place of just, quiet. And maybe that's why they've been quiet, because there's no messages and there's no big things right now. I mean, granted, there will be, trust me, but you're getting a break. Don't be worried about it. It's probably a good thing. Okay, let's pull some cards for Christine and see why your guides have been quiet. But I have a sneaky suspicion it's just because right now is the time for them to be quiet, right? Right now, you probably don't need to be working on something big right now. Maybe it's just, that blip, I need more direction. Okay, let's find some more direction, okay? What direction do you want to go in? And that's the thing too, is like we can't let these readings depict what we do, what we want. It's basically reflecting back to you. Sorry, I'm dropping cards. These readings are going to be reflecting back to you what it is you do, what direction you do need to go into, what guidance you need. Here, let's see. I have the first card that popped up for you, Christine. So let's get 2 more to get the full story. I'm just throwing cards everywhere today. Hold on. I feel like this is the one. Good. Ooh, interesting. I just got it. I know why they're so quiet right now. Your conscious mind only needs to be aware of so much what's going on, right? Of course, there's a conscious mind, and there's your subconscious. Your subconscious is really your like astral self. Here. Okay, well, 4 cards popped out for you. So, let's see here. The first card was karmic relations. That's what is something that you want to start working on, is the karmic relations. So, the things that trigger you, the things that, because karma is like that cause and effect energies, right? So it's things that we brought from past lifetimes that we're clearing this lifetime. Believe me, we're switching into the 5D energies. We are not taking any of our karma with us, okay? There's going to be aspects of us that may stay back and work on their karma in the 3D world. But this part of you is saying the Orion energy is present with you. So Orion is very fiery. I feel it's because the Orion Wars is what I think of, right? There's been a lot of wars with Orion, but it's not so much the war energy. I feel like it's that powerful energy, that powerful side of you that needs to kind of soften up, get like into that soft space, that place of like understanding and unconditional love and soft. I feel like it's just like heart space. Get into that heart space. Karmic relationships, they're going to have polarities. They're going to be opposites. There's going to be back and forth, right? There's going to be a lot of soul growth for you, it says, which is important when you're dealing with karmic relationships and you're ending cycles, right? So this is the lifetime, like I said, we're all ending these cycles. So when you're ending cycles, you got to bring a means to, like bring out the lessons that you have in these relationships, whatever's really triggering to you, whatever, it doesn't even have to really trigger you. It's more or less like there's friction. There's that weird energy. You know what I'm talking about. There's that conflict energy is the last one. It's conflict, right? There's always some kind of conflict that needs to be resolved. So a lot of the times it's like, would you rather be right or would you rather have love, right? So that's kind of what I'm feeling from that. But the karmic relationships, the Orion Force, soften it up. The next one says you have a double mission. Double mission. As soon as I saw this card come out, I was like, oh, I get it now. Because that's the 2 parts. Like your conscious mind doesn't need to know what your soul's doing at nighttime. Because the thing is, our soul never sleeps, right? Our soul leaves our body every single night and goes off on a mission and is doing something to better, like in the astral and the etheric realms, like in different dimensions and different parallel realities. Like we could go all in on that. But that's probably why your guides are quiet, because you're so busy in the astral that your conscious mind just needs to rest, right? So it says, light worker starseed, serve the world by being you. Serve the world by being you. So what is you? What is that essence of being you? What is you so much that nobody else can do it, right? That might be the direction that you might want to go in. I feel like that's kind of what you're getting called to do, is like go into that place of like, what is me so hard that nobody else can match it, right? You could be doing the exact same thing as somebody else, but you're doing it in your way. Like tons of people do these videos all the time, right? But I'm doing it in my way. So that's what's drawing you people in, right? You people, you amazing people, right? And that's the thing, is like, you have to realize that what can you do that's you so much that nobody else can match it. Okay. The next card is I remember. I remember. These are like soul fragments, parts of your soul that's like a remembrance of like not only past lives on Earth, but I feel it's like past lives galactically, like other places, right? Because we have been so many different forms. Like we don't realize that, you know, only Earth has been around for only a couple million years, right? But Earth school has been around for a couple 100,000 years. We've been doing this for a couple 100,000 years, but in the grand scheme of things, in universal time, that's nothing. That's a blink of an eye, right? A lifetime as a human is only a little part of who you actually were. You could have been an entire planet. You could have been an entire universe, or you could, you know what I mean? Like there's so many possibilities because we come to this place of imagination and grow, and you have to remember your soul's plan. What are you here to do? That's what this card is asking you to do, is remember. Not so much, I feel like this goes farther out, right? Like this goes way out there. So ask for your higher self, be like, can you help me bring in those memories of what I need to know in this lifetime that's relevant to me now? You know, just ask that. Ask that on a daily basis. I have reminders in my phone that I set all the time for reminding me things to ask my higher self of all the time. So it says, I remember, soul plan, the fated life versus the destined life, right? So that is very powerful. And then the last card that came out for you is lifting the veil. Lifting the veil. You're going to see everything very clearly if you work on your karmic relationships. Work on that first. You're going to realize your double mission, that maybe in the physical right now, you're not being called to do a whole lot other than do all the human stuff, right? Because in astral realm, you're doing it all anyway. I have a feeling you're a very strong warrior over there. So you got to remember that what you're seeing now in your life is going to lift the veil. It says, question everything. Anything unaligned must go. So if you feel like there's something in your life that's not very aligned to what you're doing, like aligned as in like it makes sense in your life, right? Does it feel good? Is it exciting? Is it a part of your passions? What you're doing, are you doing it because you feel like you have to do it or because you want to do it? And sometimes it also just takes the change of like words that we use to describe what our life is like. I have to do this. No, I get to do this, right? There's two different energies in there. And once you start going into that lighter energy, the veil lifts and you start seeing things for what they really are. And you're like, oh my God, why didn't I ever see this before? You know? So I feel like that's a really big reading for you. I feel like I was rambling on for a while, but I really felt like there's stuff in here that you really need to kind of, if you want direction, karmic relationships is where you're going to start. Those relationships that you, and don't go after it. Like you don't have to chase them. Like if they come into your life, like old flings or old friends or old family even, you know what I mean? Allow them to come to you. Don't go out looking for this stuff, right? Because you're going to find a lot of other crap. So don't bother looking. The universe is naturally, now that you've got this message today, the universe knows, okay, she's aware of something's going on. So now they're going to conspire to work with you and they're going to start bringing these things into your daily life. If that makes sense. Spot on. Thank you. Excellent. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. These cards are all over the place. Let me see who is next. We can do a couple more. I'll do 2 more readings for you guys. Let me see who's all here. Kim. Hi, Kim. Oh, Loretta. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to go Loretta and Kim. Those are my 2 final readings. Thank you, everybody else, for showing up. And think about it this way, too. A lot of the times when I'm reading for somebody and something I say to them, you're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense for me. It's because you're there. I do that. Sometimes that happens. Okay. Anyway, but But sometimes those messages are also meant for you too, because you're here right now listening to these messages. And if I don't get to read for you, I'm sorry, but you know, I only have so much time. So Loretta and then Kim. So Loretta, if you're on still, let me know if there's something that you want to work on specifically. And hi, yay, yeah, woohoo. I feel like I know my purpose and I'm being called into service. I'm going through, let me see here. Oh, you got it, okay. Lots of transformation spiritually, physically, mentally, and I feel excited for the ultimate possibilities of future as I put my faith in the universe. My request is for a general message from the universe and my guides that I need to know to help me towards my purpose and my calling. Okay, so you know your purpose, you know your calling, you're in a good place. That's awesome. So now you just need a little bit more clarity on the direction then, right? Does that make sense? You know what? I'm going to use this deck. I feel, yeah, we're going to use this one. Okay. So Loretta Lou, I'm just going to, I feel as soon as I got contact with your energy, my throat closed up. So a lot of things that need to come out, need to be released. I don't know how much you're speaking about what your purpose is or how much you're connecting to that energy on a daily basis. I feel like this is something that needs to be said. Okay, let's ask the cards. Let's pull them out for Loretta Lou. She wants more general. You know, okay. I feel like you don't talk to your guides enough. I think the communication, lines of communication, I feel like you almost need to just go straight to the source, to your higher self, to that big part of you up way in the sky. Because that's how you're going to raise your frequency. That's how you're going to raise your vibration enough so that your purpose is just going to flow from you. It's going to be easy. You're not going to have I've been physically choking for almost 2 years, and no, I didn't connect at all. Yeah, I know. And that's the thing too, is like, what are you holding in? Like, you're aware of your purpose. You're aware of what you're meant to do, but what are you holding in, right? Choking, you're supposed to let it out, right? That's as soon as I connected with you. Okay. Let's go. Let's Loretta. I got 2 cards for you so far. We got to get a story happening here. Like post-nasal drip. Yeah, I do that too. I got that too. And I feel like when I connect to spirit, when I connect to my higher self, I get a little bit more nasally. So there's physical symptoms when you're connecting with energies that you get too. So, oh, here we go. That could be a very big part of it, but our human bodies they react so differently all the time with energies. So, all right. So the first card that came out for you, Loretta, it says Star Ancestors. So, you know how I was saying you have to connect with that higher part of you? I feel like you have to connect with your higher self, not just your guides, not just your angels, because it's not like they're lower in any part. It's just they play different roles, right? So if you connect with your higher self, now I do have a podcast all about the higher self if you want to know more about it. But I feel like if you connect with your higher self, then you're going to start seeing tidbits of your astral star connections, star ancestors. But I feel it's like star connections because I feel like it's like otherworldly connections that are like calling out to you, but you're not getting it. And they're doing it in a way that's getting your attention. Like it starts speaking. That's what it is. It's like start speaking to that other part of you, to your other family. Have you ever felt like you're here alone a lot and that you just don't feel connected to people around you? And you're like, I don't get why I'm in this family. I don't get why I was born in this area, you know. And have you moved lots in your life? That might be something that I feel like you is like you're searching and you can't find. You got to open that line of communication with your higher self to begin, to start. And then the next card came out, which is funny, is that as soon as you connect to your higher self, you're going to start connecting with, perspective. You're going to get a lot more perspective on things, right? Zooming out. That's what this card's doing, is there's the earth, but it's so zoomed out because you got to look at the broader picture of things, right? So here, this Star Ancestors card says hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look little deeper, right? So it's fun when you explore yourself, right? And the only way you're going to get those answers is if you ask the questions. Like I said earlier, I don't know if you were on, but you can't send an email to somebody and just give them the letters of the alphabet and expect them to know what message you want, right? You got to be specific. You got to really communicate with your higher self and say, okay, this is my attention. I want to connect with my star family. That part of me that knows why I came here to Earth, what my purpose was, right? Yes, it's to serve. That's the biggest part. Is a lot of the times we are asked to come here because we've had big missions on other galaxies, other galactic places that it could do well for Earth, right? So really, when you're looking at things, when you want to get perspective, there is something called the Cosmic Heart. This is the last card that came out for you. So the Cosmic Heart says devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. So the Cosmic Heart. So just open into that space. That's how you're going to connect to that part of you that you need to get that wisdom from. That's going to give you that direction, because you're like almost at a pause. And it's like, okay, well, you're waiting for this message to come in, but you didn't turn on your side of the radio, like the ham radio, right? You have like a ham radio connected. It's a bad example, but you get it, right? You have to turn the power on to your end too in order to communicate with the other side, right? So your heart, the heart chakra, is that connection, is that ham radio, is that place, that walkie-talkie, you know, that back and forthness. Open that up, get into that place of just knowing that you are connected all the time anyway, and that you forgot. And you're like, okay, I remember this now, and that's okay, right? It took you a little bit, but each lifetime we get better and better on things anyway. So you probably have done this a lot. If you haven't, you've done it other places. So yeah, I mean, connecting with your ancestors, the only way to do that is if you zoom out, take a broader perspective at things of what your whole life has been up until this point, right? What are the challenges? What are the lessons that you have been learning through this lifetime? What are the themes? What are the patterns? What are the cycles, right? You're going to get a lot of perspective from that. Open your heart, and that'll open your throat, right? It's just like this powerful force. I see it like as soon as your heart is completely open and accepting of the communication, it'll shoot up to your throat chakra and it'll open it, right? And that is something you may even want to, here, I don't know, Loretta, if you have time, I'm just going to quickly open this for you. We're going to work on it. I can't promise that it's going to be completely open, but if this is something that you want to do, just put a yes in the comments. Because I feel like the more and more you kind of draw awareness to your throat chakra, the more and more, not like negative, and be like, oh, I can't stop coughing, right? Yes. Okay. So I'm just going to ask for you. I'm going to ask for the energies to come in. We're going to just open this up. That part of you, just go ahead and open your throat a little bit. Lift it up as much as you can. I'm going to ask for the angels and guides to go in and lovingly just start to just break that. I feel like it's like a big, huge gumball, you know, like not gumballs, but those jawbreakers. you know, like that big jawbreaker, I feel like it's like right there. So it's not something that you're going to be able to do in one sitting. It's something that you're going to have to come back to lovingly over and over again, and energy. So what I'm doing is I'm just directing specific energies into your throat chakra to start softening that hard jawbreaker, that big candy that has many, many layers, right? When I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but the jawbreakers, I don't know, we've had them in Canada. You lick it and then you have different colors, right? You different layers. Well, that's what this, I feel, is like. You want to break into it. You want to love it. And even just hold, like, it feels weird sometimes, but if you hold your hands over your throat and just imagine that jawbreaker that's in your throat, just slowly going down, compressing, right? I've had 2 surgeries, but I know it's spiritual, so I'm working on it with, yeah, that's good. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Okay, I'm going to ask for your angels and guides to keep that running for the next 24 hours, okay? We're going to keep that energy flowing through. You want to open up the front and the back, okay? And open up your heart, like I said. So I hope that helps. I hope that gets you started. I know I'm starting to get hot here with all the energies. But yeah, okay. So that is that. And I hope that you keep working on that, you know, just subtle things to work on it. Just being open and honest with yourself helps too, right? All right. So Kim, are you still here? Whew, let me see here. I just need to shake it off here. Hang on. I know Kim wanted to have a reading too. If you do one-on-ones. I do one-on-ones in my coaching sessions. Yeah. So a lot of the work that I'm doing now, I mean, minus the cards, I do it all in my sessions. So if that's something that you wanted to work on, yeah, we can definitely, I'm booking March now. We're into March, and now I have spaces for everyone in this group. So if you want, we can book a consultation. We can start talking about what it is that you want to start working on, what you want to open up, and we can go from there. So definitely message me. Go reach out to me at myawakeningjourney.com. That's the website. And we can get started on it if you want. Yeah. All right. So Kim, are you still here? I know that you wanted a reading as well. Me, please. Let me know if you are still here. If not, I can just do a reading for you. And if you want to jump on to this later and watch the recording, that's totally good. Oh, okay, you're still here. Good. Okay, Kim, I have a question for you. What is it that you want to look into? What is it that you feel you want to know from the universal energies for this week? So just put it in the comments if you want a general, if you have something specific, if something that you're working on, something you want to know more about. Put it in the comments. I am just going to bring out another deck for you. Health, okay? So, health is pretty general. Is there something specific about your health that you've been kind of suffering with? Is it like a physical thing? Is it emotional, mental, spiritual? You know, let's get a little bit specific, because a lot of the times these energies, like I said, you have to be more concise on what it is that we're asking. So then we get concise answers back, right? I'm going to start digging into the cards for you and seeing what comes up. If there's something specific, physical, okay, we'll go with that. That's fine. So something with your physical health for Kim. Okay, I'm just going to connect with your energy. I'm going to ask for your higher self to step forward now. And then remove everyone else's higher selves. Thank you for coming. Cut those connections. Physical. Let's see, for you, for Kim. What is her physical health trying to show you? What is your physical health trying to show you? Because our bodies speak a lot. through our physical, right? Like whatever is going on mentally, a lot of times is tied into the physical. And so whatever worries that you're stuck on sometimes will show up as physical things, right? Okay. Here we go. Okay. So I had 4 cards pop out for you, Kim. The first one was the 7th chakra. So this is your crown chakra. This is your connection to the higher realms, to your higher self. I feel like you're not communicating with your higher self. You're not in that place where you need to open those lines of communication. Archangel Uriel is on this card as well. So the Archangel Uriel is a pretty potent archangel, and he brings in energies that kind of line that connection with that higher self. So that's the first one that came in. It basically feels like a lot of chakra cards came out for you. So the next card that came out for you was your root chakra. So this is you rooted into life. This is your safety, security. This is your root chakra is at the base of your spine, right? This is where your family stories are hidden. Your childhood traumas that you've carried with you are hidden there, right? And I feel like in order to get connected to higher places, in order to raise your vibration, in order to get to that place of connection, you have to start at the base of your spine, right? Start in that place. So this is Archangel Michael. He is a warrior. He is also a savior. He can come in and step in and keep you safe while you're doing this work, right? So in order for your health to be a little bit more balanced, now, of course, I am not a doctor. This is for entertainment purposes only, so keep that in mind, right? I cannot diagnose, prescribe, or anything like that. I am simply a channel. But this is what's coming through. So when you're working on your base chakra, so your family stories, that's where things are going to hurt a little. And if you haven't dealt with those stories, it's going to manifest physically in your physical body until you get the message. So if this physical thing in your health is showing up on the left side of your body, the left side represents past. So past lives, past this life, right? And if it's more on the right side of your body, then that's more present. That's more here and now, right? It's not so much in the past. This is something that we're dealing with right now, right? So depending on where the pains that you're stored in your body are, if they're more on the left, it's something from your past that you really need to deal with. If it's something on your right, it's something that's currently in your lifetime right now that's emotionally, it all starts with the energy of the emotion, right? And then it manifests physically in your life, in your body, to kind of get your attention, because it's like yelling and screaming at you now because you weren't getting the message before with all the subtle messages that were being sent, whatever those were. You know, they could be as easy as a conversation that you've had with a person, and then you kind of get something from that. And you're like, oh, and then you leave it and you don't do anything with it, right? The next card that came out was 2nd chakra, which is this is your sacral. So sacral is to do with pleasure, enjoyment, sexuality, creativity, your womb, because it is the womb, right? So womb is like the womb energy is very comforting, motherly, right? So how much have you been giving back to yourself, right? How much have you been mothering your own self, right? That's what this is, I feel, is calling you to do. It's like, you know what? You need to mother you too. You need to take care of you. Listen to your body, because your body's yelling at you. And depending on where those pains are in your body, that's going to be a message all on its own, right? If it's in the shoulders, upper neck, then you're putting too much stress and strenuous on yourself. So it's a physical ailment of putting too much stress on yourself, right? If it's more intestinal, your gut health says a lot about what your mind is doing, right? So if this is a skeletal muscular thing in your back, in your muscles, in your, you know, if it's more like your back of your heart chakra, even like that, right in, like, because your heart's here, the back of that. If you got a lot of pains on that side, you know, that's something that's saying you're closing yourself off, right? When you close your heart off, you're closing it off to not only love, but protection, because your strongest protection is your heart. And when you close that off, you're leaving yourself susceptible to pains, right? So when you open your heart and you're open and loving, and nothing can touch you, nothing can touch you. But it's because we get hurt and we're like, no, we got to close it off. We got to save ourselves, right? That's what our ego says. No, you got to close it off. It's not safe to have it open, right? So you close it, and then you're susceptible to things, to come to attacks, to mental attacks, physical, you know, like, and I feel like in order to get past this place of you're worried about your health, because this is what we're talking about, right? In order to get connected with your higher self, we got to start at the root chakra, work in that place of the childhood stories, the old things that you're still telling yourself over and over again. It's like on repeat, right? You got to catch those things. And the only way to catch them is to start observing yourself, right? And then once you start observing yourself, you start noticing, oh, that's a pattern in my life. Okay. Maybe I need to let that go. Maybe I need to, and the only way to work through stuff is to see the lessons that it brings you. It's to understand what it's trying to tell you about what's going on in your life right now, right? So let me know if this is all making sense or not. I could be just blabbing, but I just talk until people tell me to stop. And then the last card that came out for you was Happy Family, which is a beautiful card. Look at this rainbow. Look at everybody's connected. Everybody's together. I feel like this is something that you already have, but it can be stronger. Once you are physically, mentally stronger, your family life is going to be even more abundant, even more loving, even more giving, right? But you can't give until you have a full bucket yourself. You have to go in and say, okay, well, there's stuff in my health that's not quite right. Why? Not like scientifically, like, how do I heal it? Be like, what message is this problem trying to tell me? And it may not come to you right away. It may take a couple days for these messages to come through. And it may come through in a commercial. You're watching TV and all of a sudden, like, this story plays out and you're like, oh, wait, that has something to do with, like, what I'm going through, right? Like, it could be a conversation with somebody, a passerby. It could be a sign that you see. Like, these are the things that you have to be open to seeing. Otherwise, you're going to miss the messages. And then those messages are going to get louder. And how they get louder is in your physical body. And you can't. Then it's harder to look around you when your physical body is in pain, because now it's like your body's screaming at you, like, why don't you get it, right? In a very loving way. So enhance the happy family by starting with you first. Start with that root chakra, root, the tip of your spine, right? Start in that place. Start with the stories. What is it that you're telling yourself? What is it that you've been believing all this time? And ask yourself, is that really true? Is it? Why does it need to be? Is that a true story for me now? Or was that something that you made up as a child, that you understood it then and you carried that with you till now? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta really explore those. It all starts with the mental, and then it goes to the physical. Once it gets to the physical, it gets loud. So, I hope that makes sense for you. I hope that it gives you a little direction of where you need to go. that is it for me today, guys. I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I have those coaching doors open, so you are more than welcome to book a consultation. Just go to my website, which is myawakeningjourney.com. You're very welcome, Kim. And just click on contact us and message me, and let's get this conversation going. Let's start working on these things, these issues that you need direction on, you need healing. Well, I can only hold the space for you. The work is you need to do it, right? The work is you need to do this yourself, but you need to make time for it. And that's what I do for you, is I hold the space so that you can dive into these issues yourselves and find the lessons, find the answers that you've been wanting to get, right? So book a consultation with me. Let's get started, okay? All right. So that is it for me. I send you so much love, so much light. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.